All right, this position is, I can see a bar, which means this is white to play and win. So it's a very, very tricky puzzle. Okay, what are the moves for white? Let's start here. There's b6, there's ab6, there's king c7. Let's say I move the king. Pawn. If I move the king, a5, h4, a4, h5, a3, h6, a2, h7, a1, and black covers the h8 square here. So king c6, it can't be a king move basically. So it's not a king move because also if you go like here, a5, king d6, a4, king c5, the pawn is simply too fast here going down the board. So it can't be a king move here. There are no king moves that make sense in this position. So what else? That means it has to be a pawn move. So let's say you go h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7, a2, h8, and white actually queens first here if you play h4. So that's good. So let's say h4, ab5, and then h5, b4, h6, b3, h7, b2, h8, b1, black queens at the same time. And then we have the third option. So let's say b takes a6 here. Wait, so b6 takes h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7. So b6 looks right. B takes a6 looks wrong. So b5, h4, b4, h5, b3, h6, b2, h7, b1, h8, queen b8 check, which ends the game on the spot. So it's not ba6. So it's either b6 or h4. So let's take one more look at h4. h4, ab5, h5, b4, h6, b3, h7, b2, h8, and h8 and b1, and that's a draw. So it must be b6, but I have to figure out the winning line. So b6 takes h4. If king c6, h5, king d6, h6, king e6, h7, king f7, h8, you win by one tempo. And after b6, oh wait, there's a trick. Wait, there's a trick, you guys. So b6, king e8, you win again by h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7, a2, h8, and you win. But there's a trick here where after b6, king b8, h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7, a2, h8, queen. Black makes a queen, and if you take, it's actually a stalemate here because the king has no squares. So it's b6, king b8, h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7, a2, h8, a1, and then I have to find the winning line here. And the winning line, what is the winning line? h1 queen, a1 queen. You have queen e8 maybe? Queen e8. And if black goes anywhere, queen a5, king d7, queen a6, king d7, queen a3, king d7, no a squares. B squares are bad. C squares are bad. D squares are bad. No e squares. f6, d7. f1 is good. g7. Queen g7 still keeps the game alive. So therefore, queen e8, queen g7. I'll explain this afterwards, you guys, because this is not obvious. I already know. No, I don't actually know. Queen g8, queen a2. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm calculating, because again, the way you do puzzles is you try to solve the puzzle without we try to get the solution before you just play every single move. That's the reason that I'm not just playing the move on the board. So how do you do it? There could be a check. It feels like there's some kind of check here. After queen f8, queen a4, queen e5, king e8, queen h8. Yes. Queen a4, queen e5, and queen h8. That should be winning. Yes, I found the win. So I'll tell you guys what the win is here, because you guys are probably wondering what I'm saying. So b6, I solved it. If black goes king e8, you go h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7, a2. You make the queen. If a1 queen, you take with check. And after king b8, you go queen a7. Checkmate. So let's go all the way back here. So b6, king e8 loses. If king b6, you play h4, a5, h5, a4, h6, a3, h7, a2, h8 queen covers a square, and you win the game. So after b6, the only move that black can play here is king to b8. Until I saw the solution, I don't have the solution. I'm literally looking at the board. That's it. So now the move is h4 a5, h5 a4, h6 a3, h7 a2. Make the queen now black queens, and now you cannot take the queen. This is actually a stalemate. King has no squares here. King is stuck on b8, so you can't take the queen. So the way that you win here is black makes the queen, and now you go queen to g8. Okay, so again, they're very limited moves for black to play here. If black plays like queen here, you go king d7. Again, it's checkmate because you cover the squares. So you can't really move the queen to any of these squares because king d7 is mate. If you go queen d4 check, I just go king e7. Same problem with checkmate. So you can't go to any of the c squares. You can't go to any of the d file squares as well. So these are all losing. If you go queen a8, for example, I still just go king d7. You go queen a6, king d7. Queen a4, I go king e7, checkmate. You go queen a5, same thing. So all the squares on the a file are basically not eliminated. Sorry, all the squares on the c file or c and d file are eliminated. You go to the e file, still king d7. So these are bad. Queen f6, king d7, queen f1. If queen g7, for example, I just take the queen. Same thing applies to g1. So none of these squares really work here. As I said, all the f squares aren't working. The e file doesn't work. D file doesn't work. C file doesn't work. Queen b2 allows check. So none of these squares work. Queen a4, a5, a6, a7, a8 don't work, and a3 doesn't work. So the only square that black can go to here is queen to a2. Again, same idea. If you play queen takes a2, it would be a stalemate. Why not queen c1? Because I just go king d7, and it's going to be a checkmate here on the back rank. So queen a2 is the only move. So now what you do is now you go queen f8 here. I believe it's queen f8, or wait a second. Did I get the order wrong? Wait, no. Sorry, it's not queen f8. Sorry, it's queen e8. Sorry, my bad. So line is queen e8. Sorry, queen f8 is wrong because now... Oh, yeah, queen f8 is wrong. Sorry, it just occurred to me. Because queen a3, you go here, and there's queen d6. That's right. So I have the right idea. I just put it on the wrong square. You go queen e8 here. And now, if queen d5, it's the same thing. King e7. Yeah, I just confused the line. Because queen f8, queen a3, when you go... Queen a3, queen e8. There's queen d6, and black's fine. So you go queen to e8 here. And now, again, all these checks are bad because the king just moves out of the way. So, again, none of these squares work. None of these squares work. A3, A1 don't work. B2, B3, B1. C2, C4 doesn't work. Queen E6, E2. None of the F files work. G files don't work. H2 doesn't work. So none of these squares work here. So the only square that you can play here is queen to A4. Is queen to A4 here. And now after queen to A4, what you play here is you go queen to E5 check, king A8 only move, and now you go queen H8. And now it's completely winning. I'm cheating with the eval bar. No, actually, I'm not looking. I don't have lines. The eval bar is for you guys. And now it's a checkmate because now if you go queen A1, I just eat the queen with check. If you go queen D4, I do the same thing. The idea is just you can't stop all three of these squares with checkmate. So it's game over. You go here, king E7, queen C8 is mate, and that's just game over. Why not queen E8? Queen e8 right away doesn't work because of queen g7, and now you have no squares for the king, and I also cover the check on e5. That's why queen e8 right away doesn't work. And after queen g8, queen g8, queen a2, queen e8 only move because you want to go checkmate. Black has to go queen a4, and now queen e5, and it's just zugzwang because you have king e7. I can see the eval bar, sure, but I'm actually running through the whole problem in my mind before I do that. So this is the first first one, the first puzzle. Pretty easy out of our puzzles. Let's go to the second one.